Welcome to the downtown east side.
It will get better as we work harder at it. This is Marika, Chris, and Marina. And they worked in this depot during the summer.
I got one in the back.
The wild one.
Oh, there's somebody.
And Samantha, but she's hiding out.
That's Hammy.
I don't know, 15 folks here, and we'd expected a cast of thousands, but 15.
It's the end of the month, so everybody's out bidding.
I don't know if you're going to be able to hear your voices, but maybe you could tell us a little bit about your depot in Montreal, how that went.
Well, we had a very, very exciting, very busy experience this summer under the Conference and Bridge, which anybody knows that we're pretty much right out in the open. We spent the summer under the bridge, collecting cans and bottles, and you know, I think we did really well. We passed all our expectations, and you know, I'm pretty proud about what we did over here this summer. So it was the first shot, and our first experience, I think it went very, very well. So let's hear it for us.
Yay!
So would they call that a old depot?
Oh, hi, Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Kate is our friend from Calgary who's trying to set up a pop-up depot in Calgary. Maybe we'll just talk a little bit more to Montreal, Kate, and then ask you a few questions. Could we?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Oh, yeah.
maybe could you tell Marika, if you remember, was out, well, you might not, but she was out here during our Coffee Cup event last week. And maybe you can give a little comparison, Marika, with what's going on in terms of refundables in Montreal versus what you saw in the bottle depots here. Could you do that?
Well, basically we are like 20 years behind you guys. Half of the containers here are refundable, the other half isn't. So like water bottles, wine bottles, juice, they're not refundable.
Can I?
Here are refundable.
Can I?
And there's a huge gray line because the system is very, very arbitrary. It's like rated to
Can I ask you a question after?
work, but it's working.
Can I ask you a question after?
And the big reasons why it's working anyway is because of the work of the
Because of the work.
Can you repeat? Because of the work of the Montreal bidders. Because they are out there and they're picking up, and of course the population too, but the bidders are doing a huge, huge part of the work. And we created this competitive to try to give them a voice because it wasn't being said very much, but the government was planning to abolish the system as a whole. Instead of enlarging the system to all containers, they were planning to abolish it because they said that people now use the curbside recycling and they don't need to have a refundable container. So
I have a question. My name is Garvin. I'm from Ottawa. I moved here because it was difficult to. You could only cash in empties that were bottled in Quebec. If they were bottled in Ontario, you couldn't cash them in on the Quebec side. There was the interprovincial rules. Here in British Columbia and Alberta, we don't have, the borders are open for recycling, but is that still?
That's not true.
They're closed now.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so is that still a problem?
Go to Montreal and start painting there and showing them how to do it.
Yeah.
did you hear my cat?
Channels.
We didn't hear though.
They're asking if they can come and help you
We can
guys.
collect across the country.
No, so not in there.
Here saying they're coming from there.
Been across Canada and make our way.
Revolution here too.
Yeah, this is a part of the whole idea of trying to do a conference is that we can actually
Go back and
go
forth.
back and
Yeah.
forth. Maybe not everybody at the same time, but
I'm
some of
willing
us
to.
coming here and some of us
I'd
going
like
there.
to go.
That would be very
Yeah.
exciting, actually. That's possible.
Yep.
So hold that.
Does the beer taste better in your empties out there?
I'm gonna be promoting it, is the garbage containers you have in the streets with the
Oh, yeah.
baskets for the garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
It's right, I mean,
Yeah.
it's tremendous.
Yep.
Yeah, those are brilliant. They look really, really showcase.
That's what they were designed for. That's right. But there's still lots of bottles and cans in the garbage cans too.
It's fairly inexpensive and very appropriate, very useful.
It would be good to have that on dumpster as well, not
Yeah,
just
what
on
a
small.
great idea.
This is Calgary,
So-
Ken?
So this is Calgary, Marika and Marina and Chris. How are you? Good. Calgary for a minute here, if you could.
Receiver too.
Okay. Hi, Kate.
Hi.
Oh, now we can.
Are you okay? It's okay, yeah, we can hear us.
Oh, yeah.
We got you other two.
So maybe, Kate, you can tell us about what you're trying to do with your pop-up depot in Calgary. Would that be okay?
Yeah, sure. So hi everyone, it's just me here in Calgary today, but essentially,
Want us to
I
come to
missed
Calgary?
the first part of Montreal, so I hope I don't repeat too much, but essentially I was also inspired by United We Can and some work that I did in South America with former recyclers or bottle pickers that lived in the landfills down there. And I came to Calgary and I wanted to do some work with the bottle pickers here in Calgary. So over the past couple of years, we've been trying to do some fundraising and research to see what sort of offering would be the most appropriate for the pickers here in Calgary, because it's a bit different, of course, than in Vancouver and in Montreal. And we, of course, already have a really well-established refund system, so that's not necessarily something that we have to worry about, but there's a lot of other issues, of course, related to the cold weather, the long distances that you have to travel, the different issues within some of the bottle depots, and just the sort of public perception of bottle picking. And so we've been talking to pickers, that's what we call them here in Calgary, for the past couple years, and we were going to try and start up our own bottle depot. And then we started to look into all of the how much money we would need and all of the legislation that we would have to fight to have another bottle depot downtown in Calgary. And we realized that well, we were told that there was about a 0% chance. So what we've decided to do instead in the meantime, while we work with some downtown bottle depots that already exist to see if we can partner, we are doing something we're calling pop-up bottle depots, where we're going to get donations of gift cards and like really good brand new gloves, coats, shoes, boots, those pickers that you can use to dig through the cans, sort of just tools that bottle pickers have said they needed help getting. We're going to get donations to get all those things and get some food trucks and some music, and we're going to have these sort of community pop-up bottle depots where people can come and give us bottles,
we're there.
and they can get high-value goods in return for their bottles. So they only have to pay a few bottles to get some items that would cost quite a bit more. And we're going to see how that works and try to get a few of those going and start building sort of a community and a group and go from there. So that's our plan. Like, for instance, some like really hardcore, expensive, good work gloves that would normally cost like $60. We're going to offer those for just like a small amount of cans or bottles to sort of higher value the activity of bottle picking. Because we see such a much more valuable contribution than what people are getting at the depots. So we realize it won't be for everybody because you won't be able to get cash back at this time, but we're just hoping to start a dialogue going and getting the community interested and involved, and sort of to start to build a community, because at this point it's fairly disjointed in Calgary.
Another one,
You had talked about in the depot that you eventually get, or have you worked further on that? Like that?
So yeah, similar to what Marika wanted to do, we would like our final offering one day, if we can have a permanent bottle depot or a permanent social enterprise. We really, really want to do the co-op model. So we want to make sure that anyone using our depot, they can become members and they can have a share in the depot. And the more that they come with their bottles, the more that they can get back.
So that's a really interesting piece of information. I'm not exactly sure how that would work, but
More they can redeem coupons.
you know, like but the other piece of it is if you had like shares in a regular bottle depot, you could conceivably increase the amount that you earn depending on what the revenues from the bottle depot were.
Like a cooperative?
What the other thing we should start,
Yes, exactly.
if I could,
So it could be like shopping at co-op or mountain equipment co-op or something like that. You have a membership.
Yeah, I get it. But the reason it's interesting for here is because the city had talked a little bit about having these satellite depots in the West End and downtown, and it's conceivable that there's something that, maybe it's beyond the pale, but it just seems to me that dinners could generate something.
Well, we see it in other municipalities. The ones in North Vancouver operate quite well, and
Well, we gotta
there's
see
cross
those
traffic
next week,
there.
North
So
Vancouver,
yeah,
right
so
now.
They're not cooperative.
no,
Yeah,
but
my niece are right
there
in
is
the
a
mountains.
need for it in those communities, so it can be
Sure.
achieved. So
That's I don't do cameras.
What you might notice is that there's some overlaps of issues and potentially some overlaps in terms of solutions between
No, I used to.
what's going on here and what's just going on in those two cities. And of course, there's a lot more cities across the
Oh, yeah, I
country
don't think
that
I've known
are,
him for years.
you know, that have people that are picking cans and bottles and other things out of the garbage. So it's interesting potential. Does anyone have any more questions for these folks?
yeah, is your pizza as good as ours?
Better in Montreal.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's not fair.
The thing that we could all be together all evening, I don't think it's probably going to work.
Maybe
Well,
not
that's okay.
Not today, but.
I appreciate the time to see everyone and connect.
Yeah, and I think there will be lots more opportunity. I mean, this is only like a first try.
Okay.
And I really appreciate all of you coming online, and I know your time is... Hello, Samantha.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Happy hunting.
Hopefully we'll see each other soon again.
Yes, see you soon.
Wow. Merci. Bonne chance. Bonne journée. Salut.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay.